So I bought this clock off one of my group members. It's a Seikosha clock, and it's supposed to be here tomorrow. And here's the Seikosha lettering, and then up here is an S with a trademark, the word trade and mark, and I believe the S is in a diamond. Now, if you go to Mercurelisk, here's a Seikosha trademark, but it doesn't tell you the date. A lot of times it'll tell you the date and when this was registered, but it doesn't on this. So I got on the NAWCC, and I always tell people that when somebody passes away, you have a book that is closed and never can be opened again. Here's somebody who was asking about a Seikosha trademark, and the Harold Bain, who's deceased, says it's not listed in Charlie Davis's bulletin article on Japanese trademarks. It would be interesting to get his input on this one. Looks Japanese to me. So Harold Bain is deceased. Get a book that's closed to never be opened again. All that knowledge just gone. And I trusted Harold Bain's opinion a lot. Here's Charlie Davis's. Harold Bain mentions Charlie Davis. The logo is from Yam Young and made in Korea. I probably should list this on my webpage, so I need to find Charlie Davis's webpage. And since it comes up frequently, it is a well-built movement. I'm sure that it was Japanese when I first saw one and bought one, the movement. And I bought the movement. When I got home, I looked on the back, and it was marked Korea. Take a look on the back of the movement. And he's like, I have over a dozen new logos that I showed up since December, and this was in June of 2010. But he was an NAWCC member, a golden circle, not for sure what that means, and he is also deceased. Another book closed. I know that the let me see if I can say this right. I know that the Seikosha company went to Seiko, and I have a few Seiko clocks, Seiko Melodies in Motion clocks. On the same NAWCC listing, the original register says 1892 Seikosha is established in Tokyo as a clock manufacturing arm of Kei Hattori. In 1917, Kei Hattori becomes a company, Kei Hattori and Company Ltd. So I could be wrong, but the clock, because it has Seikosha on it and it has their trademark label on it, it could be made between 1892 and 1917. I would like to see if I could find Charlie Davis's webpage that he mentions here. So wish me luck. If you go to this webpage, which I have it already bookmarked, Antique Pocket Watches, it's antiquewatch.com. It has several of the Japanese webpage, Seiko. Sorry, it has several of the trademarks for Japanese, but again, it doesn't give you dates off to the side like my go-to trademark database. And here's Seikosha. It's currently Seiko Corp. And again, I have some Seiko clocks. But it doesn't say when those trademarks were established. Here it shows Seiko. That trademark was initially filed on 18th of December 1958 and registration date 6th of October 1959. But that's for Seiko, not Seikosha. Maybe I'm reading this wrong, but the word Seikosha was initially filed 17 December 1958 also with this Just Trademarks company. So I know it was, they made clocks long before 1958. Here's a clock that they're saying that was a registered trademark in 1922. And there you can see registered trademark S and a diamond, manufactured by Seikosha, Tokyo, Japan. I don't know if there's a date on there or not. I can't tell. But here it says Seiko is for that clock I just showed you. 1922, made in Japan. It was made in Korea. Anyway, I know it's an old clock. How old, I'm not for sure. So I bought this clock off of one of my group members. It's a very small clock. It's made by Seikosha, which is out of Tokyo, Japan. It is 8 1/4 inches wide by, we'll call it 16.5 inches long. The gong, I don't know what I did with it. Here it is. Was just laying in the case, so the screws came out and shipping. It goes right there. So the only thing I'm going to do to this clock is basically take the dial off, look at the movement, see if I can find the screws, clean up the case, and hang it up. So let's go ahead and take the dial off. Have a trusty little container for your parts. To get the dial off, there's a nut right here to take the hands off. You take that nut off. There's a washer that's going to come off with the minute hand. And then the hour hand is just pressed on. And there's a screw at the top. so I could take the dial off. This is a very old clock. I'm not for sure on the age. I'm going to guess 1910, 1920. I tried to do a search for this clock for the maker. There's another screw right here. And there's a guy on the NAWCC who's deceased who had a web page for Asian clocks. And I don't know whether I don't know whether the web page exists anymore. This screw is being a pain. I also have to take these screws out that's holding this wood down. Not that I needed another clock. I have plenty of clocks. I just like the Seikosha clocks. Seikosha is now Seiko for the Seiko Melody and Motion clocks. But here is the dial, and here's the trademark. It actually says trade S with the diamond in it, and then mark to the right of the S with the diamond and the circle around it. But Seikosha. And I don't see any screws for the gong. Here's one. I'm just doing a function test to see if the strike side is working. And that seems to be working just fine. Let me take some wood polish to this. Wood, you know, like Howard Beaton wax or Old English oil or New Life Furniture mask. Let me clean up the case and I'll get back with you. When you clean up the case, if you're going to clean up the case, clean both the inside and the outside, both the front, the back, all around that you can do, because like in this case, the wood was starving. It was thirsty. So I got it all cleaned up. I put some screws in the gong. Movement probably could use a cleaning, but I don't feel like it. I've been down on my back for about a week. I finally got some more muscle relaxers, and today is the first day I've been out of bed for more than a couple of hours. And I want to mention the guy that I bought this off of, he did a great job at packing it. He made one mistake, and it's not his fault. Now I'm going to show you the mistake. Please handle with care. I have friends that work at the post office. I used to be an RCA, Roll Carrier Associate, for 2 years, and I took pride in my work. But I got friends that work at the post office who tell me when a lot of people that work at the post office, carriers, when they see stuff like this, it's a challenge to them. So they throw it around, toss it around. They're not very careful with it. So do not put fragile, handle with care, or anything on your boxes, because people in the post office, a lot of people in the post office, not everybody, no longer take pride in their work, and they will toss things around. My postal carrier does a great job. She brings stuff to my house. I have a little display item. My sister gave me this, but I got it up here on my porch. And when I get packages, they put them inside the tray, because they know I'm disabled. And so my postal carrier does a great job. I have no complaints with her. Yes, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. And just like I do cuckoo clocks, I will open up what I call the foot, which is this bend right here in this crutch assembly. And that way I can watch the pendulum leader wire bounce off of it, so I can put the clock in beat. Not quite in beat yet. And you want to look at your pendulum either on this type of clock or a cuckoo clock or whatever kind of clock. If you got a loose pendulum stick, it will affect your clock and beat. So in this case, I'm going to bend this down to tighten up this pendulum stick. I don't like how loose it is. What connects the pendulum to the leader wire, this part right here, is nice and tight, but this part is too loose. Much better. Now it's not loose. So now I can put this pendulum back on and put this thing in beat, where before it was giving me a little bit of false readings, I would say, and that's because the pendulum was loose, but now it's not. Pretty close to being in beat right there. So now I can put the dial back on. Before I end this video, I ordered these shirts off of Seth Lingenfelter, Clocks with Seth. This is a shirt that he designed. This is my clock. But I also ordered some more shirts, and I got them in, and I want to show them to you. This is my last name, and it says Munnerlyn. It's a Munnerlyn thing. I don't have to explain it to you. I wanted some shirts with my name on them. I thought this was cool. I bought some for my children for Christmas also. If you want a shirt designed by Seth, please contact him. I'll leave a link in the description of this video, and I will leave a link at the end of this video for you to get on his YouTube channel. You could contact him if you're members in my group. He has a Clocks with Seth homepage on Facebook, Clocks with Seth YouTube video. Man does professional videos also, a lot better than mine. But anyway, I wanted to show you my shirts. Give me a thumbs up on this video. Leave me some comments, even if it's just to say hello, how's it going. I try to respond to everybody's comments. So I hope y'all like this video. And again, may God bless each and every one of you. I found a spot for it. I didn't have a clock in my bathroom. This will probably get a clock that probably will get wound the most in my house. And the reason why I say that is I'm over 50 years of age. And for those guys who are over 50 years of age, you understand what I'm talking about. Well, anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. And because I mess with the pendulum, I'm going to have to keep an eye on it to adjust the pendulum. Give me a thumbs up. May God bless each and every one of you.